Before crowns were forged with gold and before kings ruled with iron voices, there was a land called Eduka, where the gods still walked with bare feet and spoke through the earth. In this land, power did not come from the throne alone. It came from truth, and from a maiden named Yulima. In Eduka reigned Oba-Nofa the Great, a king feared by enemies and respected by his people. His bounds were once full, his rivers alive, his children strong. But seasons began to turn against him. The rains delayed their coming. Crops withered before harvest. Children fell sick without reason. Sacrifices were offered daily, yet the sky remained silent. One morning, seated on his throne, Oba-Nofa struck the arm of his chair in anger. Why do my sacrifices no longer reach the heavens? Why do the gods answer me with silence? Chief Okizi, the oldest of his council, stepped forward carefully. My king, the gods do not abandon a people without reason. Perhaps something sacred has been forgotten. Silence filled the palace like a heavy cloth. That night, the king dreamed. He stood before a river of fire. From it rose a woman clothed in white clay and moonlight. Her eyes burned like ancient stars. The voice you ignore will become the storm you cannot stop, she said. Oba-Nofa woke up trembling, his body soaked in sweat. At dawn, the village priest summoned the people. With cowries around his neck and ash on his face, he lifted his staff and spoke. The goddess Olamiri has spoken. Her chosen maiden must be brought forth. Yulima, daughter of no man, child of the forest. At the mention of her name, the king froze. His breath caught in his throat, for Yulima was not just a maiden. She was the secret of his heart, the one woman his crown forbade him to love. Yulima lived at the edge of the forest, where trees whispered secrets to the wind. She healed the sick with herbs and words, spoke gently to animals, and never lied. Many feared her kindness, because truth followed her like a shadow. As she knelt beside a sick child, she said softly, "Healing does not come from herbs alone. It comes when truth is allowed to breathe." When palace guards arrived to take her, she rose calmly and followed them. "The gods have finally spoken clearly," she said. She was brought before Oba-Nofa. The eyes met, heavy with words unsaid. "Yulima," the king said quietly, "I can protect you. Choose me. I will defy the gods." Yulima looked at him with sorrow, not anger. A king who chooses himself over his people is already dethroned, even if he still wears the crown. Her words pierced him deeper than any spear. The oracle was consulted, and the verdict was clear. Yulima must be consecrated fully as the living vessel of the goddess. She would never marry. She would never belong to any man. If this was refused, the land would perish. The people gathered, pleading, "Save the land! Save the land!" Oba-Nofa stood between desire and duty, torn like cloth pulled in two directions. That night, Yulima slept and dreamed. The goddess stood before her. "You were born human so you would understand pain," the goddess said. "You were chosen divine so you would teach courage. Must sacrifice always wear the face of loss?" Yulima asked. "Yes," the goddess replied. "Because easy choices never change the world." At dawn, the sacred ceremony began. Drums beat slowly. The sky darkened. White chalk marked Yulima's skin as she stepped into the river. Oba Nofa fell to his knees before all his people. Take my throne. Take my life. Just spare her. The earth shook beneath his cry. Yulima turned back to him and spoke gently. A king who kneels for his people has finally learned to rule. She raised her hands. The river glowed. Rain poured from the sky for the first time in years. The land drank deeply. Yulima disappeared into the water, not dead and not alive, but transformed. Her voice echoed across the land. I will speak for the gods as long as you speak for the people. Years passed. Oba Nofa ruled with humility. No decision was made without listening. At the riverbank, children still heard a woman's voice carried by the wind, correcting lies and blessing truth. Some legends are not told to be remembered. They are told so people may change. And so Eduka learned that power without sacrifice is noise, and love without truth leads only to destruction.